That's weird. That's pretty weird. This is a response, like we saw this before, and then we're defining it as null. I mean, does it pass by reference anyway? Do I just not need to do that? That is pretty weird. Maybe we can... Oh, I'm so dumb. Maybe we can just do this. Sure, if this works. No. No response, just connection refused. Not even... Okay, but look down here, I'm trying to print this nonsense out. So there's that. There we go! No ways! Okay, so some experimentation later, I found that we can create routes using FastRoute like this and return, like yield stuff in here. So we can make these callbacks generator functions, right? And by extension, if we do something like follow a popular routing convention from something like Laravel, then we can have class name at action or class name at function name, and split that out, create an instance of the class, and execute its function as which will give us a generator. Once we invoke this, we will get an instance of a generator. So that becomes a factory. We need to inspect that to see, is it callable? Then just call it. Is it a string where it's like a bit of text at another bit of text, and then create an instance and then call it? But if the last thing we yield is a coroutine decorating that generator, and that generator is whatever this is, then Icicle will serve that response. Then Icicle will serve that response as a response. That's pretty rad. That is pretty rad. I'm just going to refresh this a few times because it's fun. That PogoChamp thing doesn't seem to have fun. Why is that broken? PogChamp. I also can't read, of course. Welcome to the Daily Code where the programmer can't read. Okay, so this is interesting. We have routing sorted in an asynchronous way. We can try and move this stuff into the routes file. Let's just close this vendor folder, routes file. This is where we want to have this stuff. I mean, we may not want to have our whole application code in here. Maybe we want to look at doing something like referencing different classes in a source folder. Maybe that's what we do. But we know that we can get this executed through Icicle now. So how do we package this stuff up? Let's look at how this dispatcher, no, that's not what I want, that's not what I want, all that. Let's look at how this executes. We create a simple dispatcher, and to that we feed a function that, to that we give a function that accepts the argument of a route collector and assigns values to it. So, how do we do this well? How do we do this well? Let's have a lean API for now, which basically just means like hack it together with globals. We can do something like get, do you want to do that? Method path handler. Something like that. Get post put delete. and then have like a... This is so bad. This is so bad. I don't want to do this. I feel so bad about using globals. It's the worst. They're a feature of the language, and I just feel terrible about using them. What I want to do is I want to be able to pass this write collector to... Like, I want to be able to include this and within the index.php and just have these things set up so that I can have a completely separate file for managing these writes or for like referencing where they go, following the same sort of structure as Laravel, Symfony apps, some Symfony apps, I guess. For now, maybe it's okay just to say require routes. Roots. Routes.php. Maybe that's how it should have been spelled. Avoid all confusion. Do something like this. Okay, we don't define that. We just assume it's there. We do the sync. Okay, that looks okay. Let's restart our server script and run this again. And it breaks. Where are these people coming from? This is the trouble with showing the chat, right? Don't worry, Greg. I can ban them quickly as well. That's fine. I don't mind having stuff like this in chat. I kind of want to show the chat though because I will often miss things, and it's nice to have it in the archive. So I'll keep on showing the chat for now until like more than 4 people at a time view this, and then I'll have to have my mic. Did my mic go crazy? Whoa. Sorry about that. Okay. Undefined method write collector get. Lol. Oh, what is this API again? I forget. Add route. Okay. Routes, add route. Okay, that should work. That should work. Let's restart this. No, that doesn't work. Class memory sync. Of course, I need to get some of these aliases in here as well. Copy, paste, and response. Let's alphabetically order those because being pedantic with code is a great thing. Yes, okay, cool. So this works. Speaking of chat, what's that? Oh, cool. What do you mean, Greg? Ooh, let's take this off to the other screen. Let's see. I just want to check this out quick. Greg's been busy, apparently. What does this do, Greg? What does this do? Tell me what this does. Okay. While you tell me what this does, I will get to the rest of this code. Okay, so we've got the fast router in here, and it is loading in our separate routes file, and it's dispatching stuff mostly like it should, I guess. I'll just delete this because I don't actually need that stuff right now. So we can serve successful requests, and we haven't really implemented the 404 stuff or the 405 stuff, but we have like, hey, Greg, that's pretty cool. Yes, this is really cool, Greg. Greg's done a really cool chat thing. The So this is really rad. I think I'll use this for the next time. For the next time I do chat. Like, let me show everyone what this is about. Okay, some messages. That's really cool. How did you do that? I want to talk about how you did that. How did you do that? Okay, I'll use that next time. In fact, copy link address. Let me just make a note of this quickly. Dum 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 dum. That. All the notes. Notes. Okay. I'll chat with you on Twitter about that or something. I'm busy recapping. Okay, we've got the fast route thing working. We've got our routes in a separate file. We're not handling 404s or 405s yet, but we are handling successfully found 200 things, and we're creating coroutines from them, which means our routes file, we can just do normal Icicle HTTP stuff in here, matching a path and matching a path. Let's just try a separate path quickly just to make sure that this is working 100%. So /foo should echo out foo. Again, we need to restart this. I need like a different watcher script or something for that. Okay, so that's the default thing. If we go foo, it matches foo. Great. Okay, so we can write our routes out here to make generators to use the normal Icicle HTTP stuff or the rest of the Icicle code. And that's really neat. We never have to really go into this index file. We probably want to do something like running this with an instance of the request and the socket. So let's do that quickly. Request, socket. So now what we get from here are the same things that we get in Icicle HTTP server. We can do something like hello world, socket get method. Is this request? This is actually a request get method. Do something like this. That route doesn't exist anymore, and I have an error here. Must be an instance request interface, instance message request given. That's oh yeah, we need this stuff as well. Because it's trying to load an alias stuff in. So now when we refresh this, yes, there we go. Okay, so we can create these routes here to accept the same stuff that the HTTP server gets us, and we can yield in this. It'll be wrapped as a coroutine. This is actually a really good starting point. Like from this point on, we can give nice interfaces for, maybe we use a DI container to store the route collector, and then be able to like implement a sort of proxy class system where we can say, you know, we can use things that look like statics, you know, like very similar to Laravel, where we can say request get or request post or whatever to create these routes, or just functional helpers like get, and process the stuff in a callback that creates a generator or in a class instance. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. I think that's kind of where I want to stop tonight. It feels like very little got done, but actually I think I understand Icicle a lot better now, and it seems quite cool to be able to integrate the two, FastRoute and Icicle, as sort of like a basis for an ongoing site. And I think I'll carry on with this for a few days because it's fun for me, and I really want to get some production stuff up with Icicle, so I need to learn the stuff anyway. Tomorrow I'll probably look at doing something like static file serving through Icicle.